Welcome to the BB podcast. This podcast will be mostly about sports, but I'll have guests on as well, and they'll be able to pick the topic we're talking about. Most sports um, channels, podcasts, radio seems to be pretty negative, and I want to make this one more positive and try to highlight good things that people do. I'm really excited to do this, and our first episode is going to be on the NFL playoffs. The NFL playoff games have happened recently, and I really want to go over them, and I will also predict the ones that are going to um, happen in the future. The first game was the Seahawks and 49ers game. Pretty much, Seahawks in it for the first half, and then 49ers just took over. Brock Purdy is looking like the next star in the league. He's playing at such a great caliber, and the Seahawks just honestly didn't have the talent to keep up with their offense. George Kittle's so explosive. Can't talk about Christian McCaffrey enough, how great of a running back and player he is. And Deebo Samuel and all those pieces they have on offense are amazing. So that's a big reason on why they won. And the Seahawks, man, they're one of my favorite teams. I love Geno Smith. I love the team. But they just didn't have the talent. They do have a pretty bright future, though. They have a ton of picks, so that's good. The second game, wow, this is the game everyone's talking about. Chargers Jaguars. I don't know what to really say, honestly. I mean, the Chargers were up 27 to nothing, and they still blew the whole lead. And this is what it comes down to, in my opinion. On paper, Chargers have a better team, no doubt about it. But it comes down to coaching at the end of the day, and this is what I always say to my friends and stuff when we're talking about this. Doug Peterson is a top 5 coach in the league, in my opinion, and coaching really matters in football. Without a good coach, you're not going to be able to get anywhere. Brandon Staley is not a good coach. Brandon Staley, I saw this, I heard actually microphones say this, another YouTuber, but Brandon Staley wants to be like Doug Peterson because they have similar coaching styles. Brandon Staley will go for 2, go for 4th down the line. Doug Peterson does that as well. The difference is Doug Peterson calculates it. Brandon Staley's more like kind of flips a coin in his head, I feel like, if he should go for it or not. I don't believe he's a great coach, and that's one of the reasons the Chargers lost. In the second half, they kept throwing the ball, too. They weren't running the ball. If you're up by that much, keep running the ball to run out the clock. That's what the Eagles did during the whole season when they were up a lot. You just want to run the ball, you know? But, yeah, just horrific. One of the worst games, comebacks in history if you're a Chargers fan. Awesome if you're a Jags fan. I'm loving the Jaguars right now, so. But Chargers fans, you still have a lot to look forward to. Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. You have a ton of talent on offense. Your defense got better this year. It's just about improvement at the end of the day. And then wow, jeez, man, I'm just disappointed, honestly. Like, it's good watching the games, right? But the Bills winning by 3 against Dolphins led by Skylar Thompson. Like, are you serious? They're gonna go up against way better competition, and they can't beat Skylar Thompson. Their defense let up 31 points against the Skylar Thompson led offense. Mind you, it's not like Skylar Thompson is this like great player. He's a third string quarterback. No disrespect to him, but they put up 11 points against the New York Jets defense. Now, the Bills have a significantly better defense than the New York Jets, yet they let up 31 points. That's disappointing. And you would think, I love Damar Hamlin. Um, I'm so happy that he's improving. Every time I hear a great update about him, I get so happy. But you would think they would play harder, especially when that happened, but nah, just didn't. But now this game gets me really annoyed. I love the Giants and I love what they're doing. I love Brian Daboll. I think he's a great coach. Beat the Vikings by 7. My friend's a Vikings fan, so I feel bad for him. And I'm in a survivor pool, which basically means you pick the teams that are gonna win and lose. And well, I picked the Giants to win twice, and because of that I'm out. But I picked the Vikings to win twice, and that's why I'm out. Hey, I love watching the Giants play, though. Their scheme is amazing. They keep running it to Saquon Barkley. It works every time. Every time, I swear. Daniel Jones can run. Brian Daboll's made Daniel Jones look like a Pro Bowl quarterback in a sense. No, he's not that good, obviously, but he's made him look significantly better than he was last year. I went to a Patriots preseason game when they were playing the Giants, and we were playing all our bench players, and they were playing our starters for the first quarter, and we were keeping with them. I'm like, oh, the Giants are gonna be trash this year, Well, look where the Patriots are and look where the Giants are, you know? So you can't judge a book by its cover, and especially not at the start of preseason. So, um, next we got Bengals Ravens. This is another disappointing game, I think, if you're a Bengals fan personally, because the Ravens don't had Tyler Huntley. The Ravens have a great defense, and I understand that. They have a great defense. So 24 points, it's not the end of the world because they have a really good defense. Roquan Smith leading it. Love Roquan Smith. But you got to do better. Like on the defensive end, on the offensive end. You shouldn't have relied on a fumble, recovery touchdown to win that game. You know what I mean? It's just not it. Like you shouldn't have to rely on that. Cowboys Bucks, that's great if you're a Cowboys fan. You look great. Dak looked like old Dak. He looked amazing. His previous week wasn't great, but he looked really good. At the start, he was a little uncomfortable, but man, at the end, he was looking great. Towards the middle, he was looking great. He made the passes when it was necessary. He scrambled when it was necessary. The only problem you have if you're a Cowboys fan is your kicker, personally. And I don't want to talk too much about this, but I think Brett Maher is a solid kicker. It's just mental, you know what I mean? Once it gets in your head, you miss one, you miss two, you're just going to miss 3 and 4, and that's what I would do, at least. That's my opinion. And I think I understand bringing another kicker. I forget I know his last name starts with a V. I apologize, but onto the practice squad, that's just going to put more pressure on him. That's not going to help him at all. So he might miss in practice because of it, but he's a better kicker than the person you're bringing in the practice squad. You know what I mean? Buccaneers fans, I think Brady's leaving after this year. You have still solid pieces, but I don't know. I don't know what you can do. I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin aren't going anywhere. They're going to be good, but you're just getting older and older, it seems like. I don't know how you turn this around, but you did get your Super Bowl. So that was good. Now moving on, I'm going to predict the games next week. And I bet there are going to be a lot of disagreements, but bear with me. I'll give you my explanations. So, upcoming Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we got Jaguars and Chiefs. Now, let me just say this first of all. I have the Chiefs winning the game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. If Trevor Lawrence plays like he did in the second half, it's going to be really hard to stop that offense. You got Christian Kirk. You got Zay Jones. You got a lot of pieces. Just keep playing that offense. Run your scheme that works, and you'll be good. The problem is their defense. They're not stopping the Chiefs. They're not. I'm sorry. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, a bunch of solid receivers. It's not happening. It's just not happening. And I think that's what's going to come down to the end of the day. The Chiefs' offense is going to be better than the Jaguars' offense, and that's going to win them the game. Although I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be like a 45 to 22 blowout or anything like that. Just random numbers I threw out there. But, yeah, I'm excited to watch the game. I'll probably be able to watch a little bit. But this is one I'm even more excited for, though. This 8:15 game tomorrow, Eastern Time, Giants-Eagles. Man, this is gonna be amazing. They got somewhat similar offenses. You got Jalen Hurts and Daniel Jones. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is better. It's better. 2 mobile quarterbacks that can run. You don't have. I mean, they have kind of similar offensive schemes, I guess. The Giants' defense and Eagles' defense. Eagles' defense is definitely better, I would say, than the Giants' defense. And the Eagles are just a better team overall. And coaching, both teams have great coaches. It's gonna be a hard-fought game, and I'm just gonna. This is one of the games I'm gonna take the underdog here. I'm gonna take the Giants, and a lot of people probably disagree with me about that. The reason I'm taking the Giants is Saquon Barkley, dude. Saquon Barkley can't be stopped this postseason. He is doing so well. Literally, I can't say enough good things about him. Vikings couldn't stop him. He was getting 44-yard touchdowns and I don't know. I don't think Jalen Hurts is 100%. I don't care what they're saying. I don't think he's 100%. And last week he didn't play like he was 100%, and that scares me for the Eagles. So I'm gonna take the Giants here. I know it is risky. Now going to the Bills and Bengals game. So initially I had Bengals winning, but I just saw the report on ESPN that 2 of their offensive line is out. 2 of their offensive linemen are out, which is really problematic because you already have one of the worst offensive lines in the whole league, and then you lose two of your starters who are not good. Maybe one of them, maybe it was Alex Cap. I'm not 100% sure. Is pretty decent, but you have backups coming in who aren't going to know what you're doing, which means the Bills are going to stop the run every time, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, that was the same last season, and the Bengals won, but, I think the Bills are a better team this year, and they got a lot more to, no, I wouldn't say a lot more to fight for, but I think they got a lot more energy this year. So I have them beating the Bengals just off the fact that Bengals O-line isn't going to work. But I think it's definitely going to be a good game. That's Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Now, the last game is between Cowboys and 49ers at 6:30 p.m. This is going to be a great game. It's either going to be a really close game and decided by like a touchdown or a field goal, or it's going to be a blowout in my opinion. I have the 49ers winning because I just trust their offense more at the end of the day. They both have really good defenses, one of the best defenses in the league, right? But I think I'm going to search this up right now, but I think Micah Parsons, he got injured, but we're going to see. No, I think he's actually good. Never mind. But no, the Cowboys Niners game, that's gonna be great. But I trust the Niners offense with Kittle, Debo, McCaffrey. McCaffrey changes the whole team completely. You have a run, you have a pass running back. You can do so much things with him. And I also think that Kyle Shanahan is a way better coach than Mike McCarthy, Mike McCarthy. I'm not entirely sure the name of the Cowboys coach, but I think he's a way better coach, has way better schemes, and I really like to take teams that have better coaches. So yeah, that pretty much rounds my predictions out for the playoffs. I'm really excited to watch it. I'm a big football fan. I'm really excited to see the games. Let me know what you think, and if you disagree with me, I'm betting most of you will on that Giants take, but we'll see. Next, I want to move on and transition, and I want to talk about teams with bright futures, meaning teams that I think can do really good. Maybe not next year, but in like the short run, not short run, but not like 10 years from now, you know what I mean? So, first team I have on here is the Lions. I mean, I don't know how you can't think they're going to be good. They have such a young core, receiving core: Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, um, DJ Chark. They have Khalif Raymond, who's had an awesome year. They have so much great potential on offense um, that you can't ignore. Their O-line's decent. Their quarterback, Jared Goff, is really good. I don't care what people say about Jared Goff. They think he's bad, overrated. He's solid. He's looked good. He's a solid quarterback that you can build a team around. And their defense needs some work, but no, I think they're doing great. I think they definitely have a bright future on that front. And then next is my team, one of my favorite teams, the Seahawks. I mean, you make the playoffs this year, you lose first round, whatever, You have so much good young pieces. You have Kenneth Walker, who's looked amazing, one of the best rookies, offensive rookies this year. You have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, who aren't going to get any worse. Geno Smith is a solid quarterback, one of my favorite players on the team. Yeah, maybe in the long run he's not the best option, but for right now he's good. And you got all those Broncos picks. You have so many Broncos picks. You have one in like the top 10 this year. You're looking great. And if the Broncos continue to do bad, then you're looking even better. Next, I put the Bears in there. Now this is an iffy one because they were like the worst team in the league, right? But I believe in Justin Fields. I think he's a great quarterback. He just has no support around him. And once he gets that support, he's going to look a lot better. And they also had the first overall pick this year, which I'm hoping they trade down. I'm hoping they trade still in top 10, but down and get another pick. Because if you're the Bears, you're not looking for one really good player, or the top player in the draft, so-called. You want a lot of great players that are going to really help. And who knows that the number one pick is going to turn into a star anyway, you know what I mean? So, but yeah. Next team I have is the Bengals. They're already such a good team, obviously, but they're so young. Your main pieces are Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Um, Joe Mixon is solid. Hayden Hurst is a pretty good tight end. I don't know his age, but your offense is looking so good, and it's just going to continue to get better and better. The thing you really got to improve on is the O-line, but you can really only go up from here, you know? So they're looking great. Next up is the Dolphins. I mean, Dolphins fans, I'm sorry again. It's really unlucky that this stuff is happening to Tua, and I feel really bad for Tua. I hope he gets better. I don't even know if he should be playing anymore because brain injuries can really do a lot of damage. But you have a really bright future. Jalen Waddle's a stud. He's going to be one of the best receivers in the league 3-4 years from now. He already kind of is. Tyreek Hill, fastest receiver in the league. So explosive, so good. Really, he's a smart football player. He's really smart. And Tua is a solid quarterback. He's going to get better. He's young. It just depends on his injuries because his injuries have really hurt him this year. And if one more concussion might be gone forever, So I'm not entirely sure. Another team I was thinking about was the Texans. Now, they have like no pieces, right? They're like no one. Brandon Cooks is decent, but they have literally no one. But they have so many picks. And if you're a Texans fan, it's going to be rough, but maybe like 5-6 years from now, you look a lot better. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of picks in that Deshaun Watson trade. And but yeah, you should definitely be looking better. And now I would like to talk about coaching as well. I think coaching is really important, especially in football. Without a good coach, you're really nowhere. And I want to talk about these teams too, of the coaches. So first I have Nick Sirianni, who's the coach of the Eagles. I can't really say enough good things about him, man. The Eagles are looking so good this year. I had the Eagles as a playoff team, and I thought they were going to do really well. I never thought they were going to do this good. I mean, the GM's made a lot of good trades too, like C.J. Gardner-Johnson picked up. I don't know if it was trade or signing out of free agency, but A.J. Brown, obviously, that was insane. Stuff like that. Coaches are so important in the league, and drawing up schemes. For instance, like the Eagles have like a run through. They run it through Miles Sanders, who's their running back. They run it with Jalen Hurts, obviously, right? He's like one of the best players in the league right now because he's playing through that scheme. And getting A.J. Brown really just helps their development. And Nick Sirianni's doing a great job at utilizing Jalen Hurts' strengths and A.J. Brown's strengths and all these receivers' strengths. Like Devonta Smith is awesome. He's another receiver on the team to really create a dominant offense. Next coach I have is the coach of the year, in my opinion, should win coach of the year because he's one of the best coaches in the league, hands down. Brian Daboll. This Giants team last year was trash. Daniel Jones didn't look like a good quarterback. He looked like he should be a backup. Come on. This year they look so much better. They look so explosive on offense. Their defense is looking a little bit better. Brian Daboll's offensive minded, of course, but wow, their scheme is amazing. They don't have a lot of receiving talent at all, but they're making it work because Saquon's looking like Saquon from years ago. He's dominating. Daniel Jones is looking great. But look at this team on paper too. That's the thing, right? Look at the team on paper. They're not good. If like a casual football fan walked up and saw those players in the team on the team, they would probably be like, not know many, maybe like one or two, right? But they would probably be like, is Odell Beckham still on the team? I don't know. But no. But no, the Giants are looking really good, and credit to Brian Daboll. Next coach I have on here is Andy Reid. Andy Reid is one of my favorite coaches in the league, probably my favorite. The way he runs the offense. I know they have Matt Nagy over there too, who really helps, but Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, those are your really two only pieces. You don't really have a really good running back. You don't have many good receivers. You have like Juju Smith-Schuster. I think. Wait, who did they sign? They got someone out of. No, they traded for a receiver on the Giants. I'm just blanking on the name. No, I'll remember. I'll come back to it. But no, they look amazing. Like I said, with the pieces you have, you wouldn't look at the team and be like, oh yeah, they're gonna put up a ton of points each week. They're gonna look amazing. But Andy Reid just really makes that happen, and he's a great coach. What I hear about him is kind of a chill guy too. I like him, especially that State Farm commercial. Oh my God, when Patrick Mahomes comes up with the mustache, and Andy Reid's like, "No, I'll really get on this." No, it's really funny though. But yeah, can't say any enough good things about him. The last coach I have is Doug Peterson, which I know I talked about before, but especially with quarterbacks, having like a head coach, um, experienced, can develop really well. That's really important, and that's what Trevor Lawrence has this year. Urban Meyer last year, not only was he not a was a horrible person, he just wasn't a good coach. He didn't really know how to coach. He didn't really know how to develop players. Trevor Lawrence looks great this year because he has a competent head coach in Doug Peterson, who also is setting up great schemes for him, utilizing, like I said before, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk to the best of his ability, and he's really making them look really, really good, and it's really nice to see because there's quarterbacks out there like Zach Wilson, like Zach Wilson's of the world, um, that get drafted and then they don't have a good coach. Like any quarterback that goes to the Jets is bound to be bad because they never get developed. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at Zach Wilson. There's so many other quarterbacks I could name too. Fitzmagic. I love Fitzmagic, and I think he was. I love watching him play. He's good on the Amazon Prime broadcast too. But it's like I feel bad because they're solid quarterbacks. They just don't get developed in the NFL because they don't have a good coach. And I'm glad Trevor Lawrence is getting that. I'm gonna talk about development of a certain quarterback later in the podcast too. But no, it's really nice to see Trevor Lawrence succeeding. I mean, 4 interceptions in the first half. We can just not talk about that. But his second half performance was awesome in the playoffs. And yeah, I don't. Just good coaching is so important in the NFL. You have a good coach, you win games. It's that simple. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. I'm gonna take a quick break in the podcast just for a second to talk about this microphone. I think it's the Tonor Q9 microphone. I just got it and literally set it up probably like 30 minutes ago because I wanted to record this podcast. But I tested my like computer volume. I'm not computer volume, computer audio. It was so staticky and stuff. I mean, I don't know the audio right now as I'm talking, but I tested it and it was really nice. So, um, it's on the cheaper side of microphones and it's a whole kit. You get an arm stand and stuff. You know what I mean? Like right here, it can go up and down, move it. There's like a volume button and everything. But I really enjoy it. It's really good. Yeah. Anyway, going back to the NFL. I want to talk about best trades of the season too, because I think this is a really interesting topic. And there's some trades that you get good players, and the team just isn't good that year, and it's not the player's fault. So I want to talk about that too. So yeah. So first one we have the Russell Wilson trade, which obviously for the Broncos is horrible. He Russell Wilson gets his own employee, like multiple parking spots, his own office and stuff in his contract, and he can't even throw the football. It's just really upsetting to be a Broncos fan in this because uh your team just looked horrible during the season. And there is upside though. I want to give some positivity. There is upside. You have a really young receiving core, and your defense is top 5 in the league. Like your defense is so good. Once you just get these receivers to work, and Russell Wilson is still a decent quarterback. He just had a horrible year this year. Hopefully you can get a better coach because your coach Nathaniel Hackett wasn't it. He didn't really know what he was doing. The only reason they signed him was to get Aaron Rodgers over there. But hopefully you can hire a pretty good head coach that knows what they're doing, and Russell Wilson will look a lot better. Um, yeah, but for the Seahawks, man, I don't know how much I can praise them for this trade. I seriously like they gave up Russell Wilson, right? They gave up Russell Wilson. I think maybe a couple other players. They got Noah Fant, who's a good tight end, and they got a million picks, a million, and then they got some like backup quarterback, I think, or something. But a million picks that they're gonna use to even improve their team even more. They have such a bright future, and I love watching them play. I really became a fan earlier in the year when after the first game where Geno Smith beat the not Geno Smith only, but the Seahawks beat the Broncos, and Geno Smith was like, they wrote me off and I ain't writing back. I've been a fan ever since. I love that team. But it's just so fun to watch them play, watch them run it through Kenneth Walker, make great plays downfield to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. It's just awesome to see. And yeah, I mean, if you're a Seahawks fan, you should be really looking forward to the future because it can really only go up. You're gonna have a bunch of picks in the future. I don't know if they're gonna be good because the Broncos could definitely get better. That's a possibility. But this year you got a great one. So yeah, Next trade was the Roquan Roquan Smith trade. And I love this trade because Roquan Smith is a great player. And I love it for the Ravens. I understand why the Bears did it too, but I think they only got like a second rounder in return. I'm like, Roquan Smith is one of the best um, middle linebackers in the league, and you get a second rounder back. I don't think that's worth it for the Bears. I understand why you did it, right? This upcoming draft, you're going to have the first overall pick. You're going to have a lot of great other picks. Hopefully, you can help the defense as well as helping Justin Fields. But when it comes to the Ravens, it's amazing. Hopefully, you can re-sign Lamar. That's a whole nother thing. I'll get into that in a minute. But I saw this statistic, and I think it was in a microphone video as well. Shout out to microphone. But the Ravens were like 17th, 23rd, and all these defensive stats. Roquan Smith comes to the team, they're top 5 in every single stat. It's crazy. That's what a good leader can do, though, and a great football player. Really inspire the team and make the team really successful. But yeah, anyway, it's great to see that working out. And when it comes to Lamar Jackson, you gotta pay him. You have to pay him. Come on, he's such a good quarterback. He works great in your scheme. He's the reason why you got to the playoffs in the first place. You gotta pay him. I understand if you might not have the cap, you need a franchise tag, and it's just going to get really messy. I feel bad for Lamar because he really does deserve the bag. I mean, he's a football player getting millions of dollars, right? But dealing with injuries and stuff, he's come close, but every single time he makes the playoffs, something bad happens or they lose, it's probably really annoying on his part. But yeah. Next, the A.J. Brown trade. This might have been the best trade of the whole year. It's close. Russell Wilson trade is really good too, actually, for the Seahawks. But I don't really see. I understand the Titans got picks, but you're essentially, when you get rid of A.J. Brown, you're kind of rebuilding in a sense. A.J. Brown was probably your best player on the team, and you get rid of him to get picks. And I understand maybe the Titans didn't think they were in a spot where they could win a Super Bowl and they needed to get better players and stuff. But like, you have Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. I don't like him, but he's still a good quarterback, but he just makes a lot of mistakes. But yeah, I think that's partially why they drafted Malik Willis, but he didn't look that great when he did play this season. But no, yeah, I mean, if you're the Titans, I don't really know where you're going from here. You missed the playoffs by like a game or two this year. Um, yeah, I think you just gotta keep accumulating some picks, really picking players that are gonna make this team better. Cause you're also really injury prone. Like the Titans had the most injuries this year and last year. They like beat their own record this year or something, so they get really unlucky with that. But the positives to look at is you have a great coach. Mike Vrabel is a good coach. He knows how to win games. Derrick Henry's top 3 running back in the league. He just stiff arms the crap out of everyone. I mean, he's amazing. You have a lot of you have a lot of young pieces here and there. Your defense definitely needs an improvement, but there are pieces there to work with. So there definitely are a lot of positives. I mean, for the Eagles, this is amazing, hands down. You're literally the 1 seed. If Jalen Hurts didn't get injured, you probably would have only had 1 loss on the season. It's crazy. Like, not only does it make the team 10 times better, it helps Jalen Hurts develop. It helps him become better because he has A.J. Brown there, which he can he can pass to. And it just makes him look better, but it also helps with recognizing routes, and just it makes it a lot easier on him because A.J. Brown's going to get open a lot of the time. You also have Devonta Smith, who's young, great receiver. Who's the tight end on that team? Oh yeah, Dallas Goedert, who's a great tight end. Had him on my fantasy team. Fortunately, he did get injured, but now he's back and he's playing good again. But yeah, Eagles, this really benefits. Hopefully, A.J. Brown can stick around for long too. That'd be awesome. I have Tyreek Hill here too. I do have a question mark next to his name, primarily because the Dolphins made the playoffs, right? They made the playoffs and they lost. But I had a question mark just questioning how great this trade was for them because they gave up a decent amount of picks. But I think it really does benefit them, especially if Tyreek Hill sticks around because he's a top receiver in the league. Like, not a lot of people can cover him. And he just helps in Tua's development as well. I think that's another reason why they got him. Tua's development is really going to be assisted by Tyreek Hill's ability to get open, which is what I said about like the Eagles as well, right? But yeah, I definitely think it does help the Dolphins a lot, and it helps in Tua's development. It also helps you win games because um without Tyreek Hill, you wouldn't win as much games as you did this year. And Mike McDaniel's a solid coach. I mean, he's young. He'll stick around for a while, most likely, unless they get rid of him this year, which I hope they don't, because that's what they've been doing. Not only hurts the team and the players, it also just hurts the organization. I think we just keep getting rid of coaches. I love Brian Flores. I thought he was one of the best coaches in the league, bringing that Miami team to close to playoff contention, and they just got rid of him, which I thought was horrible, honestly. But yeah. Then I have a well, I mean, let's talk about the Chiefs really quick. The Chiefs are 1 seed without Tyreek Hill. Their offense is amazing without Tyreek Hill. You got stuff in return for him. I think that's great on your part. Hands down to the organization, Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, everyone on the offense. Man, they're looking great, and they're really fun to watch. Khalil Mack from the Bears to the Chargers, I believe. I mean, this helps the Chargers. He is a great defensive player. You're going to get better on defense because of it. I forget what they gave up from him. I don't think they gave him that much, but Bears, you're going full rebuild. I understand it. You're getting rid of valuable players to accumulate picks and win over the long run. If you're going that route, that's good. I just think you could have gotten more value out of these people. Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack. I think you could have gotten more value. That's just the only critique I have. But who knows? I'm not a GM. I don't know what people are valuing them around the league. It's just my opinion personally. But yeah, Chargers, it really helps. Your defense is way better with him. You blew the whole game against the Jaguars, so I don't know where you're going to go from here. But it definitely helps your team. And then I have Davante Adams as my last one. Raiders looked horrible this season. This is what I was saying before. They looked horrible. That's not Davante Adams' fault. Davante Adams looked great. Davante Adams was getting touchdown after touchdown, catching a lot of passes. Can't really ask more from him. And more is just they were blowing close games. Derek Carr did not look like a great quarterback this year. Their defense was not great. You had Mad Max Crosby, who's great on defense, but defense as a whole wasn't great. And the team just wasn't playing together at the end of the day. Josh McDaniels is a great offensive mind, but he doesn't know much about defense. So you got to have a person on defense that you really trust. I don't really know much about the team, but that's what I would say. A lot of positives about the Raiders, though. I mean, you don't really have a quarterback anymore because Derek Carr is leaving. You do have Jared Stidham. Tom Brady might come. Who knows? Yeah, and you have a Davante Adams, top receiver in the league, is amazing, right? He's great. Josh Jacobs has had a breakout year, in my opinion. He's looked great this year. Had the most rushing yards out of any running back, I believe. That doesn't mean I think he's the best running back in the league, but I think he's a great running back. Yeah, but that's why I said the Davante Adams deal was a good trade. I forget the amount of picks they gave up as well. I still think it was worth it, though, because Davante Adams is just that talented, and he's such a good receiver. Where at that point, I don't know the number of picks I would give to get him, especially if he's going to stay around long term, which he says he is. So, yeah, I mean, it's you know, receivers are so valuable in the league. And without good receivers, you need a really, really talented quarterback or really, really talented coach to really make the team work, So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to these games this weekend, though. I think they're going to be really, really fun. Let me know who you think is going to win, as I said before. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said about the teams, But yeah, I think it's really important to get different ideas from different people because then it helps you form your own opinion as well, So yeah, my last thing I want to talk about, maybe I might do one little other segment or thing after this, but I'm going to talk about the Patriots. They're my favorite team. There's been a lot of negativity going around, and I want to cover that. I understand that, but first I'm going to give some positives about the team because I think positivity is important in the sports world. So I want to first say that Bill Belichick is a great defensive mind. The defense has been good every single year because he's such a great defensive-minded coach, and he really knows how to run a defense. Um, Matthew Judon's a great player. You got him for cheaper than he's playing now. I can tell you that for sure. His mentality is awesome. I love watching him play. He's a great player. You got great leaders on the team. The team really seems like they want to win, which is awesome. Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo are working well together for like defensive coordinating. They look really good. So yeah, those are the positives. Now I'm gonna say some of the negatives, which is a lot. Trust me. I'll start off with special teams. Special teams, they played the Bills the last week of the regular season. Obviously, they lost, and that knocked them out of playoff contention. The special teams led up two kickoff return touchdowns, which is inexcusable. Really inexcusable. You can't expect to win a game if that happens. You literally can't. So I think the special teams coordinator honestly has to be fired after that performance. Hopefully they bring in someone that's better that knows how to run the special teams, because it's not like the special teams is bad. It's been good pretty much every year. Just this year it's completely off. I don't know why, honestly, but just is. On offense, you have issues, many different issues. Your offensive line isn't good. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's like mediocre, maybe a little worse than mediocre. Um, and that's really hard too when you have a quarterback, Mac Jones, who's really trying to still learn, trying to get better when you don't have a good offensive line to assist him. I think the big hole though is, I know everyone's talking about this, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but your offensive coordinator is Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia. Do I need to say it one more time? Matt Patricia. This man never spent any time on offense in his whole life. He's a defensive coordinator, and Bill Belichick's putting him on offense. If you're a defensive coordinator, you're gonna look at it from a defensive perspective, the safest plays, which is why he calls a screen pass every other down or a run play. He's not trusting Mac Jones like Josh McDaniels did. Josh McDaniels still didn't trust him fully. I want to say he didn't let him like go crazy, like just throw the ball a lot, but like every single time. But you gotta put some trust in him. You're putting no trust in him. Towards the end of the season, they put a little more trust, and he was really looking good. I don't even think it's entirely Mac Jones' fault. He's not the prodigy of Tom Brady. He's not going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. But I definitely think he can be a great starter in the league. He just needs a good offensive coordinator to help him and assist in his development. And people are saying they should bring back Bill O'Brien and stuff. I really like Bill O'Brien. I think would be great as an offensive coordinator. The only problem is, best case scenario, right? Bill O'Brien, Mac Jones is looking phenomenal again. The offense is great. Maybe Patriots make the playoffs, right? What do you think is going to happen to Bill O'Brien next year? He'll probably get offered a head coaching job and leave. Now, I was talking to my friend about this, but he disagreed. But in my opinion, you don't want to get Bill O'Brien. You want to get a younger person that has a great offensive mind that's going to come in and stay with New England for a while. Because if I'm a quarterback and I'm going through an offensive coordinator each year, it's just going to hurt me, I feel like, more than it's going to help me. And don't get me wrong, Bill O'Brien will definitely help Mac Jones, but then he leaves. You got to figure this out again. I don't want to be rude, but I don't really trust Bill Belichick that much in making these decisions. So, but yeah, and then on like the last problem I have is just the receiving core. Your best receiver is Devontae Parker or Jacoby Myers, who at best should be like a number 3 receiver on a good team. Mac Jones isn't gonna develop well, or he's not gonna get like significantly better if you have those pieces around him. You don't have a lot of like people that are gonna help him. Like, who's he gonna throw? It's not like these receivers are gonna get open every single time. Hunter Henry is a pretty good tight end, but come on, like you need more weapons on offense. And for running backs, I do like their running back core. It's not like greatest in the league or anything, but Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson are two solid running backs. And Ramondre Stevenson has had a great season, and he was really looking good. So I hope he continues that trend upward. And yeah, but it's gonna be tough. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I predicted the Patriots would go 9-8, which I think they did. Let me just check. (2023) 8-9. All right, my friend actually said they would go 8-9, so that's funny. predicted that right, I guess, right? But yeah, I think they'll get better next year. They just gotta have a lot more help around, to really uh, not only assist Mac Jones but assist the offense. Like they really need the help, honestly. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go into one more segment, and I think that's gonna be it. I want to talk about what I think the finals will be. And I might do another video on this too, talking about the next games. I probably will, but I want to predict the finals from here, to see what happens, and maybe my teams lose this week, both of them, and then I'm screwed. But I do want to try to predict them right now. So on the AFC side, um I got the Chiefs going to the finals. I think they have the easiest schedule. No offense to the Jaguars, but in the AFC, they're the worst team left, and I think that should be a. I think it's gonna be closer than people think, but I think the Chiefs should win that game, and it's a lot easier than playing the Bills in your division round, right? So I think they're gonna win that game. I also think they're gonna win the next game just because they have such great coaching, best quarterback in the league by far, um, and they have the best tight end in the league too, or best receiving tight end in the league. You can make a conversation of him and George Kittle. It's close, but Kelsey's awesome. Love their podcast too, New Heights. Shout out to them. I love Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey's podcast. It's so awesome seeing them talk. And also, I on Jason Kelsey and his teammates Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson came out with like this Christmas album that I listened to for music. I know it's off topic, but it was amazing. So I doubt they're gonna be watching this. I bet they'll never actually see it. But if you do, hats off to you, Jason. That was awesome. I loved all your voices. My favorite one was probably Christmas, Baby Please Come Home. That was probably my favorite. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so Chiefs for that reason, right? I think they have just great all around. They're great all around. Now on the other side, and this might shock some people just because maybe the quarterback, but I have the Niners, 49ers. It's going to be like a rematch. 49ers going to the Super Bowl. But I'm really high on this team. Like I think they're going to do really well because they just have so much pieces. Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I feel like the offense makes him look better than he is, but he is playing great. And I'd love to see people like that come out of nowhere and do great. It's an awesome storyline. But George Kittle's phenomenal. Deebo Samuel's phenomenal. The running back Christian McCaffrey, of course, the best running back in the league. I love watching him play. He can run it. He can catch it. It's so hard for a defense to stop this. And it's not. And they also have one of the best offensive minds in the league in Kyle Shanahan. So, who's the head coach? I mean, that's just why I have him going to the finals. Some people would probably say Eagles, which I have losing to the Giants, but if they win, I won't be surprised at all. Like the Eagles are great, right? But I just think the Niners are a better all around team. The one thing that the Eagles have over everyone is their offensive line is amazing. And that helps Jalen Hurts be able to run the ball. That helps Miles Sanders to look great. That helps the receivers to get open because they're so good. But yeah, I think it's going to be Chiefs-Niners, and I think the Niners are going to actually end up winning it. I just love their team all around, and I think Brock Purdy, I think he has a certain attitude in the locker room. I honestly don't know, but yeah, I think they're doing great now, and they're just going to keep riding Brock Purdy into the finals and ended up winning it. Who knows? Next year might be Jimmy Garoppolo is probably going to be gone. Trey Lance might be the backup or get traded to another team. It's going to be crazy, It's going to be crazy. But yeah, Niners, Chiefs. That's my prediction. But let me know what you guys think. I mean, there's a lot of different combinations that can happen out there. And hopefully both my teams make it through and I was right. And we can maybe talk about it next week. But yeah. Anyway, I think that kind of wraps up the podcast here. I'm really happy to do this. I'm really excited to do this. Please leave any ideas below. Anything you want me to talk about. And yeah, it's not going to be just NFL. I have NBA stuff ready to talk about. I might mix in a little MLB. It's not going to be all on MLB because I'm not that in tune with that stuff. And maybe I'll talk about the NHL or the Bruins just a little bit. I actually went to a game the other day and it was really exciting. They won 6-0, which was awesome. But anyway, yeah. If you wanted me to talk about anything else, like some random thing, it can range from music to I don't know, best Disney movies or something. I can always include a segment like that. And I'll probably try to do stuff random like that in my next podcast. But I really appreciate you if you're listening to this video. Um, Please feel free to leave any comments. Like I said, I want to know what you think, what I can do to improve. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to make each episode as better and better as I can. I'm hoping I can get maybe like 2 episodes out a week. I can't guarantee that, but I'll definitely get one out a week. I have a decently busy schedule, but yeah, I'm so happy to do this, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.